All right, hello everybody. My name is Master Chen.
Bizarro Doxy.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
And you are either watching or listening to Greynoise. All right, everybody, welcome to episode 176 of Greynoise, the podcast where we'll see what happens. It is Friday night, 7:30 p.m., so as usual, we are here at the Sin Shop. The address is 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. I always give out that address because you never know who would show up, like a stray crux or whatever. Anyway, go to sinshop.org for information on us and what we do. Go to meetup.com/sinshop for information on our meetups and stuff that we have going on during the month and during the year. Remember, that's synshop.org and meetup.com/sinshop. And go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.SE for information on us. And remember, we don't talk shit about Sweden, so we can use that domain. Anyway, the reason why, well, actually, I didn't even know that Bizarro Doxy was going to be here tonight, but it is good to see you. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine.
Okay.
I just got back from a long trip to Central Russia.
Oh, nice.
This is my favorite Putin shirt I found while I was there.
I'm sure you'll be telling us about it, right?
Sure, fine.
Okay, sure, maybe a little bit.
This is White House East.
White House East.
Wow. So
I learned lots of very interesting things. So when we have time, I will talk to you about Central Russia.
Did you learn how to speak a little bit of Russian?
Da.
Da, privyet, right?
Yeah.
Как дела? I know it sounds weird, right? It does, but yeah. No, I'm not a Russian agent. Okay, I really like the language.
You're just a Russian bot. That's
No,
cute.
yeah, I'm a Russian bot just tweeting all day. Let's see. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. Do we have any other announcements?
No, they're
No.
not.
Oh, what I wanted to say, though, was Bizarro Doxy is here because we could not survive a whole month without a version of Doxy.
Well, yeah. I mean, as much as he is swipe right, I'm swipe left, and people just really needed someone to sit in.
Yeah, exactly. The month of December is very interesting for us because everybody is either at a Christmas party, on vacation, doing the holiday thing, doing the family thing. So we haven't had a full crew since before Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dry spell.
Yeah,
crazy.
so it's good to
Yeah.
see you, though. But does anybody else have anything to add to this before we go on to, I think, what Satchel's been waiting for close to a month now, actually.
I have. This will be part one. It is a two-part thing,
just
but
give
this
it
will
to
be
us.
this will be part one. This is the non-video game related one because the crew that we have tonight is not the video game people, but this will be tangentially related.
Hold on, really quick.
You play PUBG with a trackpad.
No.
I play it on my PS4. Go fuck yourself.
That's fine. That's acceptable, but not on a trackpad.
No. So before the show started, I was actually playing 7 Days to Die, and I had a member of the audience watching over my shoulder, and he saw how bad I was, and it was quite entertaining for him at least.
Look, I just had my first win, car only. No guns.
You just ran over
Okay, that's kinda
everybody.
funny.
Over everybody.
That's fucking great.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
How'd
You have
you
to
get
be really drunk to do that, but it's awesome.
How'd you get the people in buildings?
You just, they have to get,
They have to get out.
usually, it shrinks and they have to leave the buildings. And I'm just circling the building. So when he walks out the front door, I just run him over.
How was
Bounce-
that again, Bizarro Doxy?
Bounce him off the hood.
Well, all right then.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your topic that you've been waiting for like a month. Go ahead. The stage is yours, Satchel.
Okay. Well, so basically, this all kind of started out from Fallout 76. Are you familiar with the game?
I am very familiar.
Are you familiar with the amazing shitstorm that erupted over said game?
I'm vaguely familiar, but fill me in, maybe?
I am not because I don't game.
Okay, so
There's some
so
shit in the game people didn't like.
Fallout. Well, I mean, yeah, but so Fallout has been a thing for years and years and years. It originally started out in like the early '90s as a game called Wasteland, and then that was bought out by someone else.
It's
and they
a
made Fallout.
turn-based strategy.
Absolutely.
One of the best games ever made.
Absolutely, yeah. And Fallout 1 and 2 were its kind of successors. A lot of the same people worked on it.
Little known fact.
Yes.
It was inspired by, what's the alien one where you're fighting aliens? It's fuck it, never mind. Keep going.
Okay.
Sorry.
So that happened, and okay. So, Fallout 1 and 2, and then Fallout 3 came out, and it was a first person. They kind of turned it into a first person shooter, although it had a lot of those same elements, right? Your different attributes that you could set, blah, 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 blah. I thought this was going to be the non-game related one, but here we are. Mm-hmm. Anyway, from that moment, everyone has hated whatever version came out.
That was a long H.
Everyone hated Fallout 3 until New Vegas came out. And then they were like, well, this isn't like Fallout 3.
Right.
Okay. And now New Vegas is supposed to be the sacred cow or whatever because, Fallout 4 came out. So everybody hates Fallout 4 and they're like, oh, I want this to be more like New Vegas. And now Fallout 76 comes out. And they're like, this isn't Fallout 4. What the fuck? Right? So, and this kind of dovetails in with an overall thing that I've had cooking in my brain for about a month called, hating things is the new liking things. Because everybody loves to pile on. And it doesn't even matter if it is justified or if it isn't.
Right. And
so this is just an extension of virtue signaling.
Well, this doesn't...
No, it's not. Well,
I was going to say, this isn't just towards gaming. I know you're using a gaming example, but it's definitely not just regarding that video game.
No, it's certainly not. It's not regarding that video game, and it's definitely I'm not going into the whole virtue signaling or whatever.
Well, what I'm getting at is like humans are tribal animals.
True.
And
sort
of. Like the easiest way for you to identify as being part of a tribe is to also be a hater with whatever everybody else is hating on.
Yeah, I would go along with that.
Is that what we're going with?
Kind of, yeah. But
so we're of the I hate Fallout tribe.
We?
Well, I mean, in this
I
example,
love Fallout, especially the turn-based ones. But
so it's not just strictly a Fallout thing because there's also a common thing behind hating a thing that is new that someone hasn't had a chance to work it all out yet. Like take No Man's Sky for example. Mm-hmm. Okay,
we've had this discussion many times.
Here?
Yes.
No Man's Sky?
About how everybody, like, Doxy, I mean, okay, I'm Bizarro Doxy, right? So I'm supposed to love this game.
Okay, all right.
But I know his position on it. He's like, it's the dumbest game ever, right?
Yeah.
There's no point. But there are people out there who just absolutely fucking love that game. And I think, I would argue, probably more people like it than hate it. Mm-hmm. And the people who say they hate it don't really get into it.
Or the people who hate it are louder than the people who like it.
Sure. I mean, that's life in general. People who like something don't necessarily aren't motivated to go out of their way to say, "Oh my god, I fucking love this."
Yeah.
Right? They just don't say anything. They go about their day. Mm-hmm. It's the people who really hate that are the ones that are motivated to say something.
Yeah. Yeah, I would go along with that. Because it's like and I get where it comes from because there are companies that put out a game like Duke Nukem was a fantastic example.
After 12 years of development?
Yeah, exactly. After 12 years of development.
It better be good.
Oh, and it was not. I pre-ordered that sucker and oh my god, it was terrible. Like I don't know if it's just me coming if I had just changed that much in 13 years to where I didn't appreciate it.
I think that's true.
Maybe.
Because think of the game you played before it was announced. What was the last game you played before it was announced?
Before Duke Nukem 3D?
Yeah.
Dude, I've slept since then. I have no idea. It was probably Half-Life 2.
It was
I was gonna say, wasn't Half-Life
It was Quake 1.
No. Oh, you're talking about Duke Nukem 3D. I'm talking about the new Duke Nukem.
Oh, the new one. Okay.
The new,
not the one that took 12 years to make.
That's the same. So there was Duke Nukem 3D but right after Quake. That's the one you're talking about.
Right, but then they announced another one.
12 years
right.
went by.
Okay, so my point is like the game, like your point of reference, like when you got excited about this new announced Duke Nukem game, like your experience in the world up to that point was Quake 1, Duke Nukem 3D, Quake 2, maybe teaser trailers, maybe it had just come out.
Yeah.
But like, go back and play Quake 2 now versus... any of the like Call of Duty or anything like that. Right. And it looks like it's like what Super Mario Brothers looked like to us back in 2000 when we were playing PS2 games. It's like all pixelated and weird and like how was this ever fun? Right? I mean, genuinely, you think this was mind-blowing when it was new, but yeah. My point was that was your frame of reference, and then 12 years later, no wonder you think it's not good.
So for the longest time, Duke Nukem 3 or the new Duke Nukem kept winning like the Vaporware awards until they eventually retired it and were like, we're just giving you the honorary award forever.
Because they won every year for 6 years.
Exactly. Yeah. And so then it got re-announced, and I was looking at it from a different perspective, kind of, but at the end of the day, you're still pretty much right. I was still basing it on nostalgia and not what it actually was. Kind of like when I got a whole season of Night Court.
That started out really great, and then you were like, this was fun in the 80s.
This was great when I was 8 years old,
Exactly.
but now I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. So this is where I could actually jump in.
It's
because
the
I
standing test of time, right?
I know dick about games. So
But you know Night Court inside and out?
No. But
I'll take Night Court for 1,000, Alex.
No. So back in the
Old
90s.
Roz or new Roz?
What?
Go. Just go.
It's an obscure reference.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
when
there
I
it
was a
goes.
kid, I was a very big fan of Family Matters. Okay.
Okay.
You know, with Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
I was a very big fan. I liked it.
Yeah?
And so
I think we all were. It was a
okay.
pretty
So
great
check this
show.
shit out though. Hulu about a year ago released the entire set on their platform, and so I started watching it, and like at first I was like really into it. I was like, oh man, this is great. And then just as the episodes went on, I was like,
It's painful.
I don't think I could finish this, and I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
And my Hulu account has since been on suspension. So
I couldn't get through 3 episodes of Night Court. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is sexual assault. Holy fuck. I used to watch this when I was a kid. Because some of the shit that Dan Fielding did, good God, man. I mean, I get it. That was the time. I understand that.
So,
But I'm just saying, like...
wait, let's go a little bit.
getting off of your haters topic.
Wait,
We are.
That's
We
what
are
I was
totally
saying.
diverging.
Let's get a little bit more broad with this, because I don't pay attention to video games except the ones that scare me.
You still haven't played Soma.
No, but I've been.
But go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
There's nothing funnier than listening to him scream at video games, though. I've watched that video 1,000 times.
yeah, we've linked it a few times, especially in
It's
October.
great. It's great.
Yeah.
No, so okay, on a broader scale, you're saying hating things is the new liking things. So are we
Okay,
talking
yeah.
about like, oh, I'm hating on Justin Bieber, therefore I like him
Okay, let me give you.
subconsciously? Like, what do
I'm
you
going to
mean?
give you an example that actually that might be to some of the people in this room might be especially like what, because it involves Tesla. Okay,
Okay.
hold.
People love to hate Tesla now.
There we go. Right, he's doing a lot of really good shit.
Yeah. He made a car that goes 0 to 60 in 1.7 seconds. If that was a traditional vehicle, it would be considered a supercar. It'd be on the cover of every nerd moto magazine out there.
From
And
the
yet-
factory, it can beat anything with a Mustang logo on it
Right.
easily.
Well, pretty much anything. There's very few gas cars that can go.
Every
What?
other car, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
There's maybe one, the Aventador maybe, or like no. What's the one that's all tube steel out of Germany? It has a real weird name. Like, yes.
Adam's not a weird word.
No, but the company that made it.
It's Aston Adam out of England.
Yeah, it has a weird name.
What's it called?
It's Austin. It's
Aston
Aston Adam.
Aston
Yeah,
Adam.
Aston Adam.
And it's,
Yeah.
it's basically a
It's
okay.
a monocoque shell
we're
for
getting-
a race car.
we're getting
anyway,
fact
the point
checked.
is
Right,
yes.
No, I'm saying we're getting
Okay.
facts from the audience and they can't hear. So I was
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to
so-
maybe not have dead air.
We were talking about other gas cars that could match the performance of a Tesla.
Yeah, there's not many.
especially the sport model, whatever the Spider that's coming out, right? There's basically one,
Yeah,
right? And that makes the Tesla basically in its own category,
Right.
For performance.
Yeah.
It's a crazy fast car. It's like you're riding a rocket. I was just listening to Joe Rogan today. You know, he was talking to
Dude,
Bill
I'm like
Burr.
6 episodes behind.
They were talking. I won't spoil it, but he was talking to Bill Burr, and they were talking about Teslas, and he was like, "You're just on a goddamn rocket." It's like, God forbid your foot slips off of the brake and temporarily touches the gas. You can go like 50 feet and take out like 10 pedestrians. Oh, by the way, and it makes no noise, so it's like
Yeah.
a deadly missile. People don't hear it coming.
which is kind of
very true.
fucking awesome.
Right. So
And it even has
it's an
that
incredible
tag that says
thing.
zero
So,
emissions.
so I understand why people just fucking love to hate Teslas.
And anything he's involved in, no matter what part of development he's at, and I have an
You
example.
didn't address Elon Musk properly. He is the royal emperor of Mars
All right.
because you know that's what's going to happen, right? Like
Wait, what do you think his official title is going to be?
whatever, fucking emperor of Mars. The second they break orbit, like first of all,
As soon as he lands there, he's going to be like,
okay. I don't want to derail. I just want to put it. I want to earmark my rant on Elon Musk for like just in a few minutes. We'll
Okay.
get through this and
I'm
then-
actually interested to hear this because I probably
Yeah, I
agree
am
with you
too.
a lot.
Well, I'm a huge fan, and I'm just going to predict where his life's going to end.
All right, this sounds awesome. Okay, so I want to read you an example from the L.A. Times. I'm just gonna pick a paragraph at the very middle of it, and it says we kind of ran out of time, Musk said. Oh, this is, for context, this is about his tunnel that he's digging under L.A.,
Okay.
right?
What's the purpose of this tunnel? Just to make it so you can drive?
Transportation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you put your car in one side, and I presume pay something at some point. I don't know. And then, well,
Are there all Teslas underneath, so it doesn't matter? You just get out of one Tesla and get into another Tesla?
no. So the example was just the demo that they were doing was a Tesla, but the idea is that you will be able to bring your car and go down through the tunnel and pop out on the other end. Right. That's the idea.
Yeah.
The Boring Company. Right. So
No.
Maker of flamethrowers.
We have we have somebody saying this is a boring topic.
LOL. So from the article, they said, we kind of ran out of time, Musk said, attributing the rough ride to problems with a paving machine. The bumpiness will not be there down the road. It will be as smooth as glass. This is just a prototype. That's why it's just a little rough around the edges. Okay? So in the article, she says, the person who wrote this would be, what is her name? Laura Nelson from the LA Times. Okay? That's what it says in the article. That is the truth, right? Elon Musk straight up told her, he was like, hey, this is a demo. We were trying to get this out the door. Here it is to show you kind of what we're doing. But in the future, it's going to be better. The name of the article is Elon Musk unveils his company's first tunnel in Hawthorne, and it's not a smooth ride.
Oh, Jesus.
See what I'm saying?
That's the clickbait, though.
No, yeah, they're just trying to survive in a world
they're
where
just
nobody
trying to
wants
get the
real
headline.
news. They just
I don't
want
know if
fake
that's-
news.
I mean, it sounds like hate. It does, but I don't think it's
yeah.
necessarily. That's me.
Well, no, but even the first, the majority of the thing is, yeah, and in the chat, somebody just said it's just a prototype, bro. That's my fucking point. It's a prototype. Like,
yeah, but that.
And if you don't understand what a prototype is, then stop writing fucking articles.
I get it. No, but, okay. The reason why they've.
How do you really feel about it?
I know, right?
I hate this shit.
But the reason why they wrote the headline that way
Yeah.
is because if the headline was written any other way, it wouldn't get the clicks. It wouldn't get the.
Thank you for walking into my trap. Okay, so the first paragraph, billionaire Elon Musk envisions a world where commuting is super easy, barely an inconvenience, whatever. The second paragraph, actually, I think it is the second sentence. So far, his company's progress towards this goal has been a bumpier ride. Fuck off. It's like the whole thing else is all about how much it sucked. Musk had promised fully autonomous vehicles at the unveiling, but the reality was more modest. A Tesla Model X that reached a top speed of 53, manually driven by an employee who previously drove in the Indianapolis 500. Like, it's a fucking beta.
Yeah. All right. I think you're stretching on this one. I
Go
get what you're
ahead.
saying.
I'll hear it.
I get what you're saying, but every news article I read these days
Thank
sounds
you.
like that.
But that's my point.
Yes.
Hating things is the new liking things.
But I think Chen is right about this.
Yeah,
one.
I think hateful headlines is the new selling things.
I think what you're seeing is a dying traditional media.
I
And
agree.
so it would be very interesting research to do. You know how they always have sentiment research, like, was it a positive news story, was it a negative news story? Like, it would be funny to just like try to do some statistics on, you know, everything that's published online right now is just fucking,
like really negative, right?
of course, because it's like, oh my god, she hates her baby, click now. You know, it's like Starship Troopers. Do you want to know more?
Hold on, I bet you we could find an article that says, "Oh my God, she hates her baby."
I'm almost certain that
certainly,
happens.
yeah, you definitely
It's
can.
got to be a princess or a rock star or somebody hates their baby.
All right,
I'm
I'm gonna
sure
search.
that
I'm
happens.
gonna search this.
Sure that happens.
So-
So my point is that I get what you're getting at.
Right.
Hating things is the new liking things.
It's the first article.
Who is it? What's the article?
It says, "Mom admits she hates her baby," and the internet's response is, "Da da da da."
Of course.
Holy shit, it's real.
News on Reddit at 11, right?
Yeah.
It exists. I was just happy.
I can't believe you're even surprised.
I know. I was like half surprised.
It's the internet. It's the internet. So I get what your point is. I think you're totally right.
Yeah.
I don't know why do you think it's happening? Because I have a reason. I have my own explanation. For
Well,
why
so
it's happening.
I guess really the number one thing I'll go into why in a second, but I think that explains part of the hate behind. Oh my God, Fallout 76 is the worst. Oh my God, No Man's Sky is the worst.
Well, just fill in the blank. It's the worst, right?
exactly
Our
yeah.
president, this car, whatever, right? Fill in the blank. You could. I'm
a minute.
not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying like that's every article on the internet.
Well, and the problem is when you hate everything, when there's a reason to hate a thing, or not even hate a thing, when there's a reason to be critical of a thing, when there's a reason to say this policy or that policy is a bad idea, then it looks like you're just hating, and it becomes harder and harder to tell the difference between those two things.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
and especially when anyone, any organization is blindly allegiant to any side or the other.
Yeah, there's plenty of examples of this in history.
There absolutely is. Yes.
But there's no money in good news, I think.
I think you're right.
There's like no money in good news.
So
I think you're right because good news always. Well, so my argument on that one is that I don't think people are good enough at good news because good news always ends up with like puppies and kittens and toddlers, right?
But see, that's always the bullshit good news.
Because
But go ahead. Yeah.
my point here is that there have been people who made their brand on good news and good news only, and were phenomenal. Paul Harvey's and the rest of the story. Every episode is a good news story. That whole thing. It was a radio series
and
that
that's
ran
the rest of the story.
Exactly. That's just, look them up. They're
Yeah.
fucking amazing. It ran for 20 years, syndicated nationwide. Every episode was a good news story.
Yeah.
It always starts off with like, oh, it's so bad, and everybody's like, oh, my heart's broken, oh my god, whatever, and then it's like, oh my god, everything worked out in the end, and that's the rest of the story.
Huh.
So I think the reason why you think there's no money in good news is because the people who do good news are not the best at it. Because someone like Paul Harvey crushed good news for 20 years and was like, he's super famous.
Okay, I could see where you're going there.
I mean, that guy's like the Mickey Mantle of good news. And I think that just people aren't putting enough effort into it. I think if we really tried, I mean, look at NPR has their deal where it's like This American Life is almost always a good news story, right? Yeah. It starts off, it twists you emotionally and whatever, but in the end, there's usually a good ending to it. Sometimes they do a deep think piece where you're like, oh, that kind of sucks. Like maybe we should change the world, like because that doesn't work. But a lot of them are, real tearjerkers in the end. You're like, oh my god, that actually is the best story I've heard in a long time. So there are outlets. So Ira Glass, definitely good news king.
Yeah.
I'd say Malcolm Gladwell is really good at this, doing the good news.
You made the Mickey Mantle of good news reference, and so somebody in the live chat is asking for trading cards for Paul Harvey.
We should do it. I think Malcolm Gladwell is really good too. His what's his podcast now? It's something about history. Anyway, look up Malcolm Gladwell. He's well known. He has a cool podcast about history that's also mostly good news.
Totally side note here. Have you ever listened to Dan Carlin, Hardcore History?
Yes. Or no, I haven't, but I've heard good things about that from Joe Rogan.
Yes.
So I need to get into
that.
He's
His
super
shit
good.
about like the Khans is amazing. He did like a 6-part series about Genghis Khan.
It's Dan Carlin, right?
Yeah, Dan Carlin. Yeah.
I gotta find that.
It's great.
Okay.
Super good.
So anyway,
So,
good
yeah,
news does exist, but I think it's a niche market. You're right, because you have to be really good at it. You can't just throw "I hate this" against the wall and get clicks.
Well, but I guess that's part of the problem is that it seems like you can, because what happens is, and I touched on this a little bit.
The
last
"I
time.
hate" can get clicks, right?
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's what
you're
I'm saying. But the "this was wonderful" doesn't get clicks unless you're really great at it.
Got you.
So
Yeah.
have you considered this? Being in Vegas, right? We talk about gambling and the psychology of gambling a lot, or at least I do.
Okay.
I do.
You do, right? And the one thing that always comes up, right, is that the main advantage that casinos have is your differential, interpretation of risk. So like humans fear loss more than they are excited about winning.
Okay.
Right?
I can see it.
Like that's
We're more concerned about losing $100 than winning 10,000.
exactly
Right.
right, and that the casinos use this to their advantage. It's part of the psychology of gambling. And I wonder if the reason why I hate X gets more clicks than this was amazing.
Because it's a fear of loss.
Right. Yeah, what? Can you guys check that out?
Yeah,
We
that
want to
was-
make sure that back in the warehouse, everybody's still alive.
We just heard a big bang. in the
Anyway,
danger
carrying
room.
on. we got our two people on it. That did sound pretty bad though.
Safety first, always at the same shop.
Yes, yes.
It's being checked out right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Save the pieces.
You know what? Okay, really quick side
Of
note.
whoever that
Sin
was.
Shop reminds me of Q Branch from 007 movies, right?
click it twice, it explodes. Click it once, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there like clicking, and Q's getting more and more
Oh,
nervous.
yeah. Don't touch that. That's my lunch. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's fine. So
Wait,
Oh, go
to
ahead.
finish my point,
Yeah, please.
I wonder if the differential interpretation of risk versus reward in humans is why negative news gets more attention than positive news. That's the thesis I'm putting forward here.
I mean, it's not only negative news, but fear of the other is a powerful force in politics nowadays.
Because humans are tribal, so like everybody else outside of your tribe is someone you need to hate.
Wait, to the
and
point of
that's very natural for us.
tribalism and hating things. I think also when people see negative news, I think to a certain degree they can compare maybe their life. You know, like when
Like all of our lives
Yeah.
suck, so we're like,
Well,
God, fuck.
it's
I'm
either
so
that
mad."
all of our lives suck or that everything's wrong with the world, that maybe I'm not doing so bad. I think that might be a strand that I could pull at, and you know what I mean?
The-
So
the-
say that again. Like you're
the
saying
positive
that
angle.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is because the rest of the world seems fucked up, maybe my life isn't as bad as I may think it is, right? So like, yeah, I have a shitty 9 to 5. I have, kids that don't listen to me. I have et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But hey, look, I'm surviving this thing that's happening on the other side
Life
of the world.
could be worse.
Yeah, exactly. Life could be worse. So I think maybe that might be
Yeah.
a thing.
I know that every time I travel, I kiss the ground when I get back here,
yeah,
and I have been pretty much everywhere.
yeah.
And yeah, that's why it always frustrates me when people hate on America, because I come back here and I'm just like, thank God. Like I truly, deep in my soul, feel like I won the lottery being born in America.
I have this image of you. Have you ever seen the 1991 version of Robin Hood with Kevin Costner?
Yes.
Okay, so I have this image of you like getting back on English soil and like literally eating the beach.
Yeah.
Land. I'm back on my home. Kind of. Anyway.
No,
So,
deep,
I mean-
deep in my soul, I love being an American.
I mean, I could see,
absolutely do.
okay, you go to Russia and you've got that smarmy girl telling you can't have any internet, but
We'll get to that in a second
We-
for
yeah.
all of you listening.
there you go, teasy tease there. But I get that. But so like if you go to a place where people are generally healthy and generally happy, like I don't know,
Sweden.
Sure, okay.
Still glad to come back.
But okay, so what is it
100%.
about America that you're like, oh, I can't wait to get back so I can get away from all these people with good health care? Or like, what is it? Like,
Well, not to get into the politics of
yeah,
it,
I was being a little shitty there. I'm sorry. Yeah.
but the one thing I have learned about our country that's unique, and maybe the Canadians have it too, maybe the Mexicans have it as well, but to a lesser degree.
Okay.
The philosophy on the North American continent,
Yeah. So instead of America, it's North America.
sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Sure. And I'm willing to extend it to our neighbors, both to the north and the south, because I spent a lot of time in Mexico, a lot of time in Canada. But the philosophy on this continent tends to be, and this is subtle, freedom to, where the rest of the world sees freedom as freedom from.
Okay.
And
okay.
what I mean by that is like here and in Mexico and Canada, for the most part, you can assume that if there's no law against it, you can do it. Right? Like I can go out in the desert out here and go blow shit up. Right? Like that's a thing. Like nobody's gonna tell me I can't as long as I'm not hurting anybody. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go blow shit up. But the rest of the world sees it as
There's a sheet of plywood on your shoulder.
the rest of the world sees it as like I deserve to be free from people who say mean things. Where in this in this country we look at things as I'm free to say whatever the fuck I want. Now, I'm not free from social recrimination and everybody calling me an asshole and not having any friends and losing my job and everything like that.
Right.
But for the most part, I can stand on the corner and I can say the most horrible, awful things and nobody's going to come and try to stop me. Right. But the rest of the world tends to be like, I want to be in a safe space. I want to be free from people who want guns. I want to be free from people who want to say mean things. I want to be free from worry about paying my healthcare bills. So I don't know which philosophy is better. I'm not trying to cast judgment. I just love the fact that I can wake up on a random Saturday and decide, yeah, I'm going to do that today. And I don't have to worry about all these laws, like this sort of inversion of laws, right? Here, if there's not a law explicitly preventing you from doing it, you can do it. But in basically everywhere else I've been, you can only do the things that you're permitted by law to do.
What have you not been allowed to do in a place like, let's say, Sweden or some...
Russia?
Well, Russia, that's a whole different animal.
Well, just very specifically, I cannot conceal carry a weapon anywhere else but in the United States.
Okay, I'm going to put the gun thing over here. So what is any other things though?
Hold on.
I'm just gonna put that.
Hold on. Let's not go
talk
too
about.
far
No,
down
that's why
this.
it's over there.
Let's talk about free speech then. I mean, or
sure.
even free and open access to the internet. Okay, so this actually is a really great segue. Okay, so I recently traveled to Russia.
Yeah.
Okay, I was out in central Russia, and I'm an idiot, and I let my laptop try to connect to the Tor network automatically, which it normally does automatically, and I never worry about it because I'm a privileged American. We have freedom here, so it's like that's not a thing to worry about here. So my laptop automatically fires up Tor every time I turn it on. So I'm in Russia. I get on a Wi-Fi. It fires up Tor, connects to Tor, immediately gets cut off, right? And I'm like, and I didn't think. I'm such an idiot. I was like, why would that happen? Okay, that must be a software glitch. So I jump onto my phone's Wi-Fi hotspot.
Oh, you fuck yourself.
Right. And I get on Tor, and immediately it's cut off. And within 48 hours, I was completely denied from any internet access. I couldn't use any apps or anything like that. I couldn't get onto the internet. I have these great screenshots of messages every time I try to go to the internet for anything, like literally going to GitHub or anything like that.
So wait, they kicked you off the internet completely then?
100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every time I try to go to a website, I get this message saying, you have been, what did it say?
I don't know. It was in Russian. I don't know how you can read that.
No. There was an English translation, but it's creepy as fuck. It's totally Orwellian.
Oh yeah, it was basically Big Brother told you couldn't do it.
Yeah, and it has
something
this
like
really
that.
creepy, smarmy picture of a person who's
this girl's like looking off to the side, almost like we fucking got you.
Right.
Yeah, it was this weird face. It was kind of scary.
Let me find it. Let me read it
Okay,
to you.
you go ahead. Actually, wait. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. No. Oh, all right.
Wait. I got it. It says access to the requested resource has been blocked by the decision of public authorities. And then I tried to get on to
That's interesting as fuck.
their app-based taxi service, and they wouldn't accept my credit card or anything like that. It wouldn't activate my account. And I emailed their customer service saying, I need a ride. What's going on? And they emailed me back saying, thank you for contacting us. The security service does not disclose the reasons for blocking users and does not provide comments.
So you were literally blacklisted for in the entire country, essentially.
By the FSB, which is the modern version of the KGB.
KGB, yeah.
Yep.
Holy
100%.
shit.
which is where the guy on your shirt used to work.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That's why I bought the fucking t-shirt.
Soviet
Of
Russia.
course I'm buying his t-shirt.
Hey, man,
in
watches
Soviet
you.
Russia, the internet
You kicked me off.
Routes
you kicked
packets
me off
through you.
the internet, but I'll buy your shirt.
Yeah, of course. Why
Sure.
not? It's a mark of pride. This is me going like, look, literally. The
It's
reason is
ironic,
because
man.
fuck you. That's why. I'm wearing a Putin t-shirt because fuck
That
you.
is my
That's why.
okay. That is my favorite reason for anything.
Yes. Because
Why?
fuck you.
Because fuck you. That's why.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think that's kind of what Bizarro Doxy was going for with the whole American point of view is
Right.
because fuck you. That's why I'm gonna blow shit up in the desert. Because
Of course.
Fuck
Of
you.
course.
That's why.
And you know what's really funny about
I mean,
our
because you're
brand
not
of freedom?
hurting anybody. Is what I'm saying.
You know what's really funny about our brand of freedom is that I have brought friends from Europe over here, and a long weekend in Vegas has them giggling like school children and sad to go home. I don't. It's not necessarily guns. It's not necessarily any one thing, but it's just the idea of like literally whatever you want to do, we can do.
I mean, we do have weed and hookers. I mean,
But not in Clark County, and we weren't whoring and we weren't getting high either.
I'm playing.
You know, the point is, we're not going to prostitutes, and we're not
But
getting
you
high.
could.
But you could.
Not in Clark County.
Not
Right.
in Clark
No, you
County,
gotta go to the
I know.
wait.
Right.
What's the next county over?
Nah.
Nah, thank you.
You go hump and perump, right?
Go over the hump.
Yeah, over
that's
the
what
hump
the
to
weatherman.
But I like his better.
No,
though.
the
That's-
weatherman on like the morning news has to say over the hump in Pahrump it's 76 degrees, but really the say is
Go
hump and perump. Yeah.
No shit. I never heard that before. That's the first time I heard that.
Yeah. But
how long have you lived here?
4 years.
Morning. Yeah. So we've been here for a while. But like morning news though. Yeah. Morning news. They say over the hump and perump. But yeah.
They've got to be sick of that.
So I mean,
they still use it.
My point was is that like the different brand of freedom here is palpable.
Yeah.
And my European friends pick up on it real fast and have the time of their lives. And we're not doing anything that would be considered edgy at all. We're just like, let's go hiking. Let's go drink all day long. Let's go, whatever.
Yeah.
And then when we sober up, maybe we'll go shoot some guns. But whatever. Like the idea is that
we have a lot of cool shit in Vegas, man. I mean, if you took someone from Des Moines, Iowa, and brought them here for a week out, they'd have the exact same reaction, though.
No.
They'd be like, "Where's the corn?"
Exactly.
Well, okay,
and they would be
there's that
like,
too,
your
yeah.
deer are small because in the desert, deer are smaller.
That's not a deer. That's a German Shepherd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, the point here is that you have a little bit of a point, but a fellow American, their reference point is so close to ours that the difference is not great. For someone who grew up in Europe who needs to ask permission to go to the bathroom, like they come here and it's like, holy shit, what?
To ask permission to go to the bathroom.
Oh my god. I know that I'm exaggerating with that one.
Just a touch.
Hold on.
Just a touch.
I
Brothel
really like
sprouts.
this. Yeah. Do you know what you call
perfect.
kids from perump?
What?
Brothel sprouts. Look, if anybody here is from or anybody watching is from perump, it's a fucking joke.
Oi,
right? Sorry.
Damn, LOL.
I thought it was funny.
That's
Great, yeah, no, that's pretty funny.
Trust me, we have
Brothel
like
sprouts.
10 viewers. Nobody's watching from perump.
Hey,
At least statistically, right?
look, I mean, if you're properly liberal and progressive, you should see that sex workers should be treated like normal workers, and we
I
should
agree completely.
normalize it.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
It's not ridiculous to say that. In fact, that makes Nevada both the most conservative and most liberal state in the country.
I would
at the
agree with
same
that.
time.
Okay.
I would agree with that too.
Yeah, no, actually, that has been my experience here.
Yeah, the most conservative because freedom, Merca, fuck yeah.
Right.
But liberal also because, well, they're just sex workers. We should tax them just like everybody else.
I agree.
Basically.
Yeah.
Because
workers.
Because workers.
Because workers, yeah.
Right. Because workers. Like, why even classify them?
All right, now I'm just curious, are we done hating things or are we just going to continue to hate things?
Oh, I'm done hating.
So,
things.
you're saying as a society, and you're not saying us here.
No,
specifically.
I'm saying the topic was hating things and liking
right.
things. and then-
So I did want to get back to that because the thing is that if that is allowed to fester, right? If enough people write enough bullshit articles like that one where Tesla sucks because blah, right? Because this thing wasn't immediately perfect the day it came out, blah, then that has an ability to snowball and actually create the problems that people were bitching about that didn't actually exist.
For sure.
My example with this would be going back to Fallout 76. After getting completely bagged on and all these bad reviews, and so it's not selling and people aren't playing as much, right? Now
So you're
they're
not going to get a DLC or any updates or anything like that because they're not making any money.
probably not, but also they're adding more microtransactions.
Oh, and
which
ads, and you got to buy
But
this.
not
to get-
ads.
so you have to buy bullets to fire them in game.
No,
or
no, no,
something
no,
like
no,
that?
no. It's not that bad. But if you pay more money, you get a snazzy suit or you get a better weapon or something. They are actually doing ones with improved stats, and that's kind of
That sucks. If you
That's
can
fucked
pay
up.
to win,
yeah.
I hate that.
I agree.
That should be a cardinal rule in video game development. You
Absolutely.
should never allow pay to win.
Yeah, but I'm sure their publisher is like, look, we need to make some money here, and you don't have subscribers like you thought you were gonna, so
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
I get it.
Eventually, and the same could, I don't think it's going to, but the same thing could theoretically happen to Tesla. Oh my God, Elon Musk smoked weed, so he's a bad person.
They've actually been having like reduced numbers and some financial issues at Tesla.
Oh, that's so fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
but see that exactly. That
I don't
is
worry
stupid.
about it. They'll all leave for Mars here soon anyway. Seriously, we can dovetail it. That's another preview teaser for my
Oh
rant.
yeah,
in a minute.
we totally need to get to that.
Wait.
But
Okay, go ahead.
well, but so I guess really my point to wrap up this part is that oh God damn it, now I forgot it.
We love you, Chen.
I broke Satchel again.
We love you.
I try to do this
No,
every
it
week.
wasn't
now.
you. It was over there. The
Hey, we get audience participation.
yeah. Wait. Go ahead. Oh, stop. Go. Just wait till you get to the lightning round. Okay. So if enough people bag on Tesla, then eventually Tesla might have problems. And like you said, they're having problems, financially. because the market is blah blah blah. The guy's experimenting with shit. The guy's saying, if you, and I was telling somebody about this the other day, if you're trying to launch a monkey to the moon, sometimes you're going to get burned up monkeys. But you're not going to get a man to the moon until you get the monkeys to the moon first.
That's a saying you use? Like you use that as a...
Absolutely. What was the first living thing in space?
A dog.
Right.
Fuck, you're right. It was a dog.
Yeah,
Like
it was
a dog
First
named
American
Laika.
thing.
It was a monkey.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Was
saying.
it what? A bear?
A bear.
It was a dog.
Dog was Laika from
Yeah.
Russia, from where...
Laika was not the first animal in space.
Oh,
Okay.
now we need a fact check.
The internet's probably gonna make us liars.
Oh,
Fact
man.
check from the audience.
Hold on.
Somebody has a burn monkey saying tattooed. I want to see that. Wait, I think I want to see that. They have a burnt monkey saying tattoo. I must know more,
Holy fuck. Hold on.
but not if it's in a weird place. I'm not giving anybody a piggyback ride.
Okay, so we have Laika. Laika as the dog is the first animal in space, according to Google.
Laika?
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to, let's see, universetoday.com.
And space.com as well.
Okay, so it was a dog. Why'd you say it was a bear? Now I'm just confused. Am I being trolled?
Because Russia.
God damn it.
They have bears.
Russian trolls!
We
And
have
presidents.
We have bears here too.
It was I spent fact checking
Oh,
time.
here we go. The Laika was not the first animal in space. The United States and the USSR
Oh, fuck.
has been putting animals atop rockets since 1947.
Okay.
Is there more to that, or is that it? We're done. Okay. Okay.
So it was a bear?
All right.
No, it's paintings of animals.
Painting?
That doesn't count. We're talking about living things.
Like a first animal in space.
Anyway, my
suborbital or into orbit. That's right.
I'm just trying to say if you're experimenting with stuff.
So let's just say then are the people on the Virgin Galactic astronauts, are they actually going to
They
space?
go above 80 kilometers?
80 kilometers? I thought it was 60 kilometers.
80 kilometers.
It's 80
I'm going with
kilometers.
200. I claim
We're
100.
fact checking again. There's a
So
lot of
does it
fact-checking.
require? Do you have to be in orbit to be in space?
No, over 62 miles or 80 kilometers.
All right, 62 miles or
that's
80
where the
kilometers
60
in
is. So I
order to
thought
be
it
in
was
space.
60 miles. Yeah. Okay.
That's
So
right.
then, if we all agree that 62 miles is the threshold of space, then whatever went over that first.
The first mammal in space was Albert II, a rhesus monkey. Albert I's mission had been unsuccessful, a.k.a.
Blew up on the
Burn
pad.
blew the fuck up. Boom.
Oh, so you're saying
Victory
Laika was
is
like the
mine.
first one to go into space and come back?
No. What I'm saying is
They
that if
went
you're
over
going
that.
to launch shit into space, if you're going to try to do something that people yet have not been able to do, be prepared to risk things. Be prepared to burn money. Be prepared to burn a rocket. Be prepared to burn a fucking monkey. Be prepared to lose things if you're going to try something new. And that's what people like Tesla and, in the beginning at least, Bethesda should be allowed to fucking do. They should be allowed to make a beta and not have the whole goddamn world dump on them. How that happens, I don't know, but that's where I'm coming from. That's why I say hating things is the new liking things, because it whenever a new thing comes out, unless it's fucking perfect, and it never is, it immediately gets shat upon. And that's my point.
I get it. I think you have a point. I think we should stop worrying about everybody else.
Everybody else.
Well, like, don't fucking rip on something. Like,
No.
don't have an opinion. Like, let's practice not having an opinion.
Having an
This from the guy
opinion-
who's like,
Yeah.
free America and this and that. Like you have the freedom for an opinion.
That's
Why
an
would not?
observation.
Yeah.
That's not an opinion.
Okay, no, okay.
An opinion would be that's the best way to live on this planet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a community mic. The first of the episode.
Brought to you by Chenbox Development training. If you watched the last episode, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, go ahead, community mic.
But the other thing about Tesla is they're a public company, and there are a lot of short sellers out there. So there's plenty of people that do want them to fail. They'll probably be willing to pay for a shitty article somewhere.
Sure.
Yes.
Short sell. And there you go.
That's a fantastic point. I forgot to make that.
That's actually technically illegal, though, I think.
No.
I doubt
A lot
it.
of things are technically
Paying
Technically?
to make a negative news article
Paying to
to
adjust-
to drive
yeah,
a stock
artificially
price
drive
down,
Stock price is absolutely illegal.
100% illegal.
But like short selling is not.
No, short selling is not, but to collude with a news article to make your short sell profitable, 1,000%
100%
illegal.
Illegal.
gotta catch you.
Well,
Right.
well, so
Yeah, I
you
got
don't do that. You find someone that has that opinion
Well,
anyway.
this is why Zero Hedge exists, right? Everybody publishes as Tyler Durden.
Tyler Durden.
But so I guess that's kind of that kind of points to one of the big flaws that we do have is that any company that's publicly held has a fiduciary responsibility to their members, to their
Stockholders.
Stockholders, thank you, to maximize profit by any means necessary. I don't
Right.
care if that means
Well,
you have to.
legal means necessary.
Absolutely right. Well, but that's that's a pretty big stretch.
No. Like that's very
Legal.
clear. You have to be within the letter of the law.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree with you. But if that means that I need to work this guy, whatever the law will allow, then and he needs to stay in that freaking mine, and I don't want to pay for his health insurance. And the law says I don't have to.
That's why we have labor laws and labor conflicts.
Well, we of course should have better ones. But yes. But I guess what I'm trying to
You're
say...
stating truths here. We all know this.
Exactly. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that because of that, it's possible for stuff like this to happen, and it's harder for people to invent, or it's harder for people to take risks, and so everyone plays it safe, and so we end up still on the same engine design that we started with 120 years ago.
I don't think this is anything new. I think what's happening is the internet's making it easy to see.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a philosophy in Scandinavia that's been around for 100 years, and the rough translation from Danish is we cut the tallest poppies first,
Okay.
which means that if you're the rising star or whatever, you're better at it than everybody else. Everybody else piles on.
Isn't there
Because-
that Japanese saying like the standing nail gets the hammer?
Yeah, the tallest nail
Yeah,
gets the hammer first. Yeah. Yes, that's right. I mean, this is a universal human thing, right? And it's also the reason why, people demand to, like, for instance, they just passed a law in the UK banning advertisement with featuring people with quote unquote unattainable bodies, unattainable beauty standards. Look it up. So they had this whole thing last year or 2 years ago where there was an ad thing where it was like, get ready for summer. And it was like these most beautiful women in bikinis or whatever. And so many people got butthurt about it that they passed a law saying that you cannot have advertising campaigns that feature overly beautiful people because it makes everybody else feel bad. Again, what?
Yeah, in the fourth. That was different. That was...
Nobody
we're
can
getting
hear you. Yeah.
we're getting
Yeah.
more fact check,
but my point is this is the European philosophy of freedom from, right?
Yeah.
Freedom from having to look at people that are 1,000% more beautiful than I am and having bad feelings about that. You know what? Grow up, get your own self-esteem for whatever it is you're good at. Like, fuck off. Like, the American philosophy is, wah, too bad.
The Florida one specifically was against like hot dog vendors at the side of the road that were paying like women in bikinis to sit there. And,
This is a
it
different.
was
It's a different
causing-
one. It's a different one. I know what that one is. It's totally different, but
Okay.
it's in the same vein. Same vein.
You're talking about the Urban Outfitters thing?
Right. No, they were
No.
doing the lingerie coffee thing that happened
Right,
here in the United
and-
States for a while.
and it was actually caused like these girls were like dancing and actually were causing enough of a distraction that was causing significant accidents on the road.
Yeah, they were.
I mean,
Well, you put beautiful women out by the road, it's going to distract people. But back to my point here is that, where was I going with this?
oh, we broke Bizarro Doxy.
Yeah, no, you were saying about people piling on.
Well, there's another Urban
Fuck, I
Dictionary.
totally
Hold on.
lost this.
There's
I
another.
totally
Okay,
lost
in
it.
the live stream, there's another definition that's nail on the head. Poppy's getting cut first. There's crabs in a bucket, right? This is from Urban Dictionary, brought to us by the live stream, and it's basically used to describe a person or a sculpture that does everything in its power to destroy the ambitions of those among them who wish to improve themselves.
that's what I was talking about last week
Right.
with the
Yeah.
monkeys and the bananas.
So as you're getting,
right.
exactly.
It's
like
a
we were talking about.
collectivist mentality. It's a 100% collectivist mentality.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that The people who do kind of. Well, I mean, I know it's natural. It's human nature to.
It's unfortunate.
do that.
From your perspective, I would say it's 100% human.
No, it's 100% human. It's an unfortunate trait that we have.
Because we always are. There's always this tension between Caesar and your everyday, laborer, right? There's always this tension between
why are you
James.
banging on the dog whisperer, man? I'm kidding.
No. But like my point is like there's always this like tension between LeBron James or Mickey Mantle and then the rest of us.
Or Kanye.
Sorry,
I'm
right?
kidding. I'm kidding.
No, Kanye's ridiculous.
The point is there are people on this planet that are just so much better at one thing or two things or all the things than the rest of us.
Yeah.
That the rest of us kind of don't want them around.
I don't really feel that way.
I mean, it's your
I don't
new.
think I don't
your
think
hating
I-
things
The
is a new
world
liking thing.
agrees with you, but Americans agree with. Well, no, the rest of the world agrees with me. That Americans agree with you. So Americans love our heroes because and I would argue it's because we don't have royalty. We love people who are super good at things.
But we were talking about Elon Musk for most of the.
Again, I told you I'm a fan and I'm going to go on a rant because he's fucking amazing. I love my Elon Musk.
I am too, and I do want to hear I actually want to hear your rant.
Okay,
about
well, but I think Americans, our royalty are people who are super competent.
Mm-hmm.
And that might actually be the secret to the success of this country.
Like Superman and Batman.
Yeah. But also,
Live stream.
Lex Luthor, who's awesome. I mean,
I love his haircut.
Right. I mean, the rest of the world tends to
No hair up there, so.
have different attitudes towards things, and fall more into these collectivist grooves of like, if you're better than me, then we better put a stop to that.
Mm.
And I think Americans still carry with us that ability to have both, right?
You're arguing that? I like the point that you were saying about like I think it's because or you think that it was because we don't have royalty, right? So
Yeah.
there's no
There's no hereditary reason for you to think somebody's amazing. So, and we very explicitly rejected all of the other reasons for like making somebody a messiah, right, or a king. So the only thing that's left is just pure competence in our philosophy. In the American experiment, the only thing that's left is pure competence, which has, I mean, to get really deep on this one, I think a lot of the racial tension and a lot of like gender tension is coming from the fact that we haven't always been good about recognizing the genius of people who aren't white and male.
Yeah.
Agreed. I agree.
But we're starting to get really good at it. We're better.
I think so.
We're better.
We're better. Yeah.
Certainly better.
Yeah.
Which makes me very optimistic for the future because, everybody is like, oh my God, the world's ending. But I would argue that like maybe this century is truly the American century, not last century, this one. Because once we get to the point where we can actually recognize all competence by all people, I don't know what else can stop us.
I'm with you on that, and so I'm going to stop there.
Yeah.
No, I
guys wanna talk about-
completely agree.
I'm very optimistic. I don't know why. I mean, like maybe it's because I don't read a lot of the negative shit on the internet. Like I realize that that's just like human nature, and it's like, whatever, it's noise.
Okay, just because I can't shut up. I can just like drop this and walk away. But I don't know that this might be the American century, but I think we have to hit rock bottom first. And once we hit rock bottom, then it will be.
We've been at rock bottom since day one in this country.
No.
It's been one crisis after the next.
We got more.
After the next.
We got more. A little more.
Okay.
Next financial crisis.
Oh, yeah.
After that.
That's more of a global problem, though. It's not an American problem.
Oh, okay.
But
You don't
But we got to go to the lightning round.
No. I get to do my Elon Musk thing first.
Well, but we don't have time.
Oh, fuck
Lightning round.
We
Hold
do
on,
have
first of all-
time.
first of all,
Look at the time.
I will keep
Listen.
it to a few minutes.
Okay, we explored your topic in depth
But we gotta go.
And
That's why I had to wait 3 weeks.
Yes, you waited 3 weeks, and you got your.
We gave you the entire episode. Give me a time frame, and I can make my Elon Musk.
Will crush us. We're just the little guys, man.
Wait, just let him keep talking.
Big lightning round.
Okay,
Wait.
2 minutes.
No,
Okay,
no.
Make a motion for
Shh.
2 minutes.
Actually, I really want to hear it and
Give
take
him-
as long as you need.
Give him a little bit of time, and he'll stop, and then he'll. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now it's your turn.
Okay.
I was done.
So,
Now I'm
as a
not.
big fan of Elon Musk, who's read pretty much everything he's written and listened to pretty much everything he said, reading between the lines and being a huge Heinlein and Arthur C. Clarke fan, I think that Elon Musk has a messianic complex. For those of you who don't know what that is,
Okay, go ahead.
that's a messiah figure, right? Feel like
He thinks he can save the world. No one else can.
No,
Oh,
he
no.
doesn't feel like he can save our world. He feels like he can save humanity by creating another world. And
Probably can.
my prediction for that, man, is that the whole SpaceX thing is a hack of the public-private space trust thing.
Okay.
It was how he could leverage the wealth of the United States to make his private space ambitions true. And I think what's going to happen is the second that he knows that whatever ship goes to Mars is entirely self-sufficient. So if there's people on it, they never have to come back. Like the very second. So
Like doctors, scientists, and
the
people
whole
who can
point is
sustain
they're going to
themselves.
put enough shit ahead of them on Mars that when they finally send people there, they're never ever going to have to come back. He's going to be on that boat, and the second they break orbit from the United States or from the Earth, he's going to declare independence, and he will set himself up as a benevolent dictator of Mars. That's my prediction.
I can see
I'm
it.
almost certain that's exactly what he has.
I want to be alive to see this so bad.
right?
probably will.
Stop smoking weed.
So bad. Wait, what? Why? I mean,
Well, stop smoking so much weed.
no, I'm just saying. Like
I love you. I love you, Jen. I love you.
I want
but
to
I worry
be
about
alive.
you. I worry about you.
I want to be alive so bad.
These
for this.
muscles are getting softer, by the way.
Oh, I know. It's the Christmas spirit.
It's the weed.
No, it's not. Okay.
The couch is strong.
The
Yeah,
couch
the
is.
couch is strong. All right. So,
All right, that's it. I'm done.
We're good.
Yeah.
That was it?
He's going to be the first emperor of Mars. If you want to dig into more details, I could go into more details. But I think this tunnel in LA.
You know what we
So I
would
think
have?
the tunnel in LA is to prove technology for building what is it? Magneto, whatever, launching
Maglev.
facilities. Yeah, launching facilities. So like this is a common thing in a lot of sci-fi stuff where they go into a mountain, they bore a giant tunnel, they put a magnetic launching facility basically in a mountain. And they go into orbit just electromagnetically without actually doing. Yeah, of course. That's what this is. Because the next thing he's going to do is lease half of Mongolia, and he's going to put one of these in a Himalayan mountain. The summit being at 20,000 feet.
Is this just like
Total
think he's
speculation.
Okay, total speculation.
Total
Okay.
speculation.
I was like, did he fucking buy half?
No.
You should have
No.
prefaced with that because I think you almost broke saturated.
No, I wasn't broke. I was
100%
amazed.
speculation, but I'm pretty sure he's going to figure out how to get a Himalayan mountain under SpaceX control so they can bore into it and put an electromagnetic launcher into it.
Well, the Himalayas. I mean,
Well,
there's
'cause it
plenty of
gets you-
national parks here.
Well, because it gets you closer to space, right? The closest to space. Anyway, it's total speculation, but
Sounds
why
good.
else would you figure out how to bore giant holes in the ground? Unless you're really high and bored.
No,
But I don't believe he's ever bored.
I
do
feel
it.
like he was trying to get around all the bullshit he's trying to do for the Hyperloop. That was my initial thought. But now that you say that, I was like, maybe.
The Boring Company is all about flamethrowers because there might be aliens.
Okay,
And
yeah, this is where I get off.
boring tunnels so that he can make launch facilities.
Wait, is this where you get off or you're getting off?
I'm exiting the ride.
Okay, so if you're exiting the ride, is it now time for the lightning round?
No, show's over. We don't have
No
time.
lightning round.
We
Do it.
got to
Make it
end
quick.
right.
All right,
Big
quick.
YouTube, man.
He got mad because he got skirted for 3 weeks.
You had the whole episode. Stop complaining.
No, I did.
Let's go. Let's go European. I nominate or I motion that next week we have a freedom from this kind of.
Wait a minute. That violates my freedom of speech. So fuck you.
I love that you're an American. I love you, man.
I do what I
You're a
can.
good American.
You're all right.
It was a joke. Let's
You're
go.
all right. What's this?
I don't know.
Your what hurts?
I know.
Did we break Jen?
No.
We broke Jen.
We broke Jen finally.
We just said it was true, and so
All
it
right.
is.
Well,
All right, lightning round.
Okay,
We're
the
getting
lightning
bored.
round.
We're
For
going off
those
the
of
rails.
you, for those of you who do not know what the lightning round is, today we're going to go to zdnet.com to get our topics. We're going to be reading the headlines under Just In, because hopefully this is going to be new news, not old news. We're going to give our tweet's length of an opinion, and then we're going to hopefully move on after the tweet's length of an opinion.
Yep.
Who's going to go first?
Well, read. I'll go first, but read the first one.
Yeah, I'll read the first one, but okay, so you're going
I'll
first.
go
So we're
first.
going like counterclockwise.
Because it's Bizarro Doxy. He almost never goes first. By the way, you watch the videos.
Wow, we got somebody who pays attention.
Yes.
Okay.
Big fan.
First article. Should AI researchers trust AI to vet their work?
No,
I agree, but your turn.
Holy shit.
because
This
that's
is
turtles all the way down, man. No.
This is number one. Yes, you're totally right. But number two, this is the first lightning round question that hasn't been change your damn passwords or someone fucked up.
Yeah, I like
That's so true. Oh my god.
Okay. All right.
All right, yeah.
Okay. So should we trust AI? No, absolutely not.
No.
Why would we trust anything to police itself?
Until you can get AI that is self-explanatory, where you can actually analyze why it came to the conclusion it came to, no, you shouldn't trust it.
Well, but as soon as that happens, the AI is going to figure out how to lie to you.
Oh, ooh,
Then we're fucked.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you just have to unplug everything.
Yeah.
I run off of solar energy now.
Yeah.
Fuck
Hey,
you.
speaking of which, did you guys see the thing about the robots that
Wait,
eat?
there's no speaking of which.
Okay.
We could talk about that.
We're
after.
in the lightning round, man.
It's never the
Fair
lightning
enough.
round.
Must be
Okay, next one.
respected.
Researcher publishes a proof of concept for coding a Facebook worm. That's not a thing already?
Wait, say that again?
Yeah, it says researchers publish a proof of concept code for creating a Facebook worm.
Great.
Yeah, who cares?
Computer worms have always been around.
Yeah, I don't know why that's so new.
Well, because
No,
it's
wait, I know what it is.
Yeah.
If you have not listened to my advice up until now, you should listen now. Delete your Facebook account right now. 100%. Do it. Because the only way that you're ever going to avoid being oppressed by an AI is to starve it of data. So get off of social media as fast as possible.
Oh, I had a topic about that this week, but I'll have to move it to
All right.
next week. Anyway.
Sorry.
Lightning round. I'm fucking with
Right,
you.
what's
Go
the
ahead.
next headline?
Okay, next one. India authorizes 10 agencies to intercept, monitor, and decrypt citizens' data.
India does that?
Yes.
It authorizes. Say again.
India authorizes 10 agencies to intercept, monitor, and decrypt citizens' data.
Got it.
I'm interested on the decrypt part.
Yeah, I wonder how they're
Without
doing that.
details. Yeah, they're clearly not using like strong open curves.
They're probably still using like DES or some shit.
something. But that's really interesting. Because at least Australia was open about the fact that they wanted to backdoor all their crypto. I would be curious about what India's plan is for quote unquote decrypt.
All we got to do is just have a whole bunch of contractors carry our secure data, and nothing will go wrong.
All right, next.
Let's move it to the cloud.
That's a great tweet, by the way. Nothing will ever go wrong.
No.
Next one. Home Affairs cannot be bothered listing all agencies that with access to metadata. So Home Affairs, I guess, is a company, and they say that they can't be bothered for all this metadata, so they're just going to keep it. That's how I'm interpreting this.
What do they call that? Divest from that company. Don't buy their products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't pay them for services.
That sounds like a great way to not say who they're working for.
Right. It's probably a CIA front.
Oh, okay. We got some nods there. All right, let's make this the last one. How blockchain is cutting foreign exchange transactions.
Blockchain.
Oh, go ahead, Drake. From 48 hours to a matter of seconds.
So, working in blockchain, it doesn't surprise me. I'm going to drink your beer now.
Hey. Well, all right, fine. You're done already?
Yes.
Shit.
I drink beer like a professional, and you can't rank professionals with amateurs, but it's okay.
You try real hard.
Yeah. I'll let you hang out.
Where's my 151? I'm not even drunk. All right, anyway. You missed it. Like the last 3 weeks, I've just been on 151.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, see?
Stop drinking. Not weed. It's the drinking. That's
It's probably the
Mm-hmm.
probably the drinking.
A little bit,
It's probably the drinking. All right. So anyway, we are out of time.
Mercifully.
As you
We're overtime.
Thank Jeebus.
The internet's going to close us down.
Yeah, remember, you always got to swipe left on Bizarro Doxy.
Swipe
If you
left.
see me on Tinder,
Just
Doxy,
swipe left.
please come back soon. I fucking miss you.
I miss you,
actually.
bro.
I never thought I'd say that.
I
All
miss
right.
you.
Anyway, we've run out of time, but not
I
should say.
legitimately miss Doxy.
Aw.
I
You,
do.
you don't think my missing him is legit?
You just said I'm lying or whatever. I'm just kidding. You said I miss you. Just kidding.
Did I say just kidding?
Or something like that.
Right.
It's in the recording.
You're not
We'll
listening to me.
figure it out.
All right. Anyway, we've
yeah.
run out of time, but never out of shit to say. So join us again next week, like every Friday night, here at 7:30 at the Sin Shop. 1075 American Pacific Drive, Sweet Sea in Henderson, Nevada. Remember, it's sinshop.org and Greynoise. For us, that's GREYNOI.se.
That's our
Anyway,
slogan.
I think I'm done.
Great
Yeah.
noise for us.
Great noise. Yeah. My name is Master Chen.
And I'm Bizarro Doxy.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
Get us off the air. Good night, everybody.
Get me out of here.
Take a fork in me.